So we are going to answer a couple of questions. Well, actually, we're going to answer 10 questions about business and Jesus. Or, yeah, business and Jesus.
Well, you gotta say Jesus' name like that, though. Business
and Jesus. We'll each answer the question that's pulled.
Ooh.
So, yeah, now you, if you don't know, now you know. So, hopefully this will be interesting and y'all will learn some stuff that y'all didn't know, either about us as individuals or about our business, about our journey, about the things that we learned, about the things that we didn't do, the things we should have done.
Right.
Since you the guest on the show,
guests get to go first.
Exactly, guests get to go first on this show.
Do I have to read a question too, or you gonna read it? Those are your questions.
No, you read it. It's your question. But we both answer it, so you go first.
Ooh. Do you love your clients?
Yeah, that's definitely your question.
Yeah, I asked that one. Heck yeah, I love my clients. Well, I love them. More than I know. One, because, without them, I'm going to be working a job, a 9 to 5, pretty much.
Nothing wrong with that.
Hey, nothing wrong with the 9 to 5ers. Hey, get your money, work hard, be black, be great, whatever you at. But yeah, definitely, I appreciate my clients. Well, not only just because, I'm able to do what I do because of them, but just being able to conversate with people, you know what I'm saying? Have conversations, learn, them being able to compliment me on my work. And also I just learn about myself with interacting with people and talking to people and things of that nature. So, yeah.
I feel like you can't really say too much on that question, but there's a few of them that can be challenging, but you love them.
Hey,
You're supposed to love them.
Jesus loves them, so you should love them.
Exactly.
All right, it's on you, bro.
Technically, I guess you're supposed to close your eyes.
I don't even know if I did.
Exactly.
We're gonna read back and watch it. Oh yeah.
Why do we keep getting yours? Do you feel like?
I don't know, bro.
Do you feel like?
Oh, there should be you there probably.
I'm about to say, you feel like you have to suppress your faith sometimes being in business. Ooh. First of all, I don't have to suppress nothing because I ain't oppressed or suppressed. Most of my clients is Christians, so.
What about the ones that aren't?
I don't know about them. Well, I guess they staying away from me. Thank God. No, I don't have to suppress my faith. Maybe. No, not maybe. Ain't no maybe. What I was gonna say is maybe it could be challenging, in certain okay, so I got a good example.
Right?
I got a good example. So this is not really my business though, but it's a good example because I work at. I don't know if I should say where I work at, but I work at a place that promotes free speech.
They ain't sponsoring. You ain't saying your name. Free speech?
I work at the place. You can't say that. But I work there, and they promote free speech. That's part of, what the, whole purpose of the organization is. And one of the people who submits footage to us has a show. Can I say this show? They have a show called Atheists Speak. So it's about atheists. And as part of my job, I'm supposed to schedule shows from the people who submit them.
Right.
And not be biased.
That's your job.
Which I do. For the most part. No, just kidding. No, for real. I do.
Sorry, your submission was not accepted.
That's an example. If they would, let's say they were to ask me, hey, we know you work here. Can you film a video for us? But we need you to leave that Christian stuff all over there. That might be tricky.
I guess it depends on how that.
Yeah, how they approach me because if if I think transparency is important, because if they're looking for a certain type of videographer and I'm not that videographer, then I would just say, hey, well, God got another blessing for me somewhere else. I'm not gonna try to, fit myself into a box for a check. Well,
no.
That's a check. No.
That's where the camera zooms in on you.
All right, your turn.
Do I have to suppress my faith for business?
Suppress and oppress.
Suppression is an interesting word, but I wrote this question. But I would say no. I don't think, as far as I can remember, I don't think there's any situation where I've necessarily had to do that. But I think also it's not like it's written on my sleeve kind of a thing as well too. So I guess even that kind of plays a part into it, like what people know, then that might cause you to be in situations where you might have to kind of choose. But as far as I can remember to this point, there hasn't been a time where I've necessarily had to lessen myself as a Christian man for a business opportunity or for, money or whatever. So, yeah.
Your turn.
Can I get a Marcus question? Let's let it be a Marcus.
Yeah, because you keep cheating, bro.
Can I put it back?
No, you gotta answer, bro. You just gotta mix them up.
Yeah. Anyways, I wrote these. A lot of my questions that I wrote questions that I wish we would ask me. But anyways, all right. This is a good one. Do you or have you ever prayed before a session or photo or shoot? I don't always pray before shoots, but usually when I'm traveling for weddings, I always pray. Not just for like traveling mercies, but like that I represent myself, my family, Christ, in my speech, conduct, character, and all those things. So those are most of the times that I pray before, stuff. I don't remember pray like before photo shoots, or I probably should. But those are probably the only instances where I've actually like actively like prayed.
Depending on the shoot, like there's been like video shoots where I prayed with the person, and there's
like
some people, during the video shoot, before the video shoot, through text. Like some of the videos that I shoot can be like, really, personal. Like, I filmed funerals, I filmed testimonies, of people who never shared their testimony, and, just understanding, as a videographer and as a person of faith, what courage it takes a lot of times to share, your story verbally, because there's a lot that goes into video. So I hope I get one of mine.
Please grab one of your questions, because I need to know. Like, I think it's been all my questions so far.
Yeah, there's some. How many you put? 20 in here?
Did we shake it?
You're supposed to only do 10.
No, I put 10 around.
Oh,
there are 20 in there total.
I'm just making. I like trying to get mine low key. Hey,
You close your eyes.
I didn't know what question it was gonna be though, so. Okay. Well, it's my question, but it would have been funnier if it was you
that told it.
What
I
you do?
Answer anyway. So,
how much does $1 really cost?
Is that really the question? Is that really the question?
Well, first of all, if you calculate the expenses and the taxes that go into it, then you deduct that, and that's gonna be.
How much does $1 really cost? Ooh.
First of all, the reason why I asked that question is because, people, I hear a lot of times, name your price, or how much money, would it take, for you to do something crazy like this, or, would you slap, you've seen those posts where people like, would you slap your mom for
$1 million?
$1 million, and you like,
hey mom,
I would not slap my mom for $1 million.
Hey mama.
No, I would.
You wouldn't? I mean, would you tell her before that, hey, mom, this is the situation?
Exactly, but see, look, that's why we need to discuss how much does $1 really cost?
If your mama, I'm sure your mama would be like, slap. Hey, here you go.
All right. We not talking about mamas no more. All right.
Shout out to the mamas out there.
Exactly. So we would not slap our moms. We love y'all.
I'm dead. So how much does $1 really cost, Marcus?
It's depends, you know. $1, you know, this is my real answer. $1 really has very little value in comparison to influence.
Please explain.
That sounds so deep.
Break it down. Right, break it down for the people. They're like, what?
Influence is
Put
here.
that on your
$1
Facebook.
is here. No, because look, if I can, you know, slap somebody in the face for $1 million and lose my ability to influence the people around me, you know,
Well,
is that dollar still worth the same as if I didn't have that $1 million and I had all the influence in the world?
so you're comparing the
Yeah, I'm basically
cost to
saying
something else.
exactly. I'd rather have significant influence than $1 million, because if I can influence 1 million people to give me $1 million or $1 each,
Or $1 million.
or $1 million if y'all got it, versus having to do something crazy or, you know, act crazy on social media to get a few dollars, then is it really worth it? You know, you could have got that same $1 million in a good way. So that's that.
Facts.
Drop the mic on that. I don't have a mic.
How
so
much
I
does
drop
a
my
really?
phone.
How much you do have a mic, but you can't drop it. How much does $1 really cost? $1. I mean, I think where you're trying to get at with this question is, from my point of view of like value, just in general, right? So like we value money for what it can do for us for various things, whether that be paying rent, car note, traveling, yada yada yada. So to some people, it, you know, the value of money or the cost that they have to, that they personally might have to do themselves, or you know, their personal costs for money, might vary case to case. So I think that's a variable that's based on, you know, each individual person. I mean, I do agree with you with the influence part of like, you know, yeah, I mean, money is great, but I think influence is so much better, especially what you can do with people's lives and how people can, like, you know, just you praying with somebody or you, whatever it is, can like give them so much more value than any dollar amount. So.
All right, we gotta get through some of these. How many we at right now?
4.
Oh, okay. We doing good. We doing good. I gotta shoot out in a little bit. Teaching a class tonight.
All right, this is my question. All right, bro. Out here promoting.
Exactly.
Who pays better, churches or nonprofits?
I plead the fifth. No,
This is my question. Ooh, who pays best?
this spot.
I don't know, man. I don't know. From my personal experience, I think it's been pretty equal. I mean, I haven't really worked with a lot of churches, but only a few nonprofits. But I think it's been pretty equal. I mean, technically they're kind of both nonprofits in a sense.
Basically.
To a certain. But yeah. How much $1 really cost?
Right. First of all, shout out to all the churches and nonprofits out there.
Right. We appreciate you. We love y'all out here.
We appreciate y'all.
But can I say why I wrote that though? Because I once heard that the church loves your gifts, but then, you know, they love your gift till they have to pay for it. And I think to a certain extent that can be true, based on whatever it is that you're doing. But, you know, some people or some churches might want you to, hey, we want you to, you good at that, why not share with us, you know? So,
For the
anywho,
discount.
right. So, instead of putting respect in the name of paying you as you should be deserved.
Yeah, I think it's
But,
the same for me. Not much to say about that. Alrighty,
Please
I'm
pick
getting
one
my
of yours.
questions.
We should have just had you pick.
Crap.
This is your question?
No, this is a good question, but I mean, this is
You
not.
didn't want to answer? Well, you had to answer it.
Okay, let me just read it because y'all probably like, what is he talking about? Why is he tripping? Thoughts on the movie Get Out?
How is that related to business at all? See,
First of all,
that's why you can't let Michael
you
do
gotta
something.
have a creative mind. Every
This dude
question
watched
can't
Get
be
Out
straightforward, so you gotta
times.
be creative with it. First of all, I'm glad.
How Get Out has anything to do with
First of all,
business
I'm
and Jesus.
I'm glad you asked.
What's the question? Thoughts on Get Out?
I'm glad I asked.
That's
myself.
a whole separate video, bro.
I know, but I like that
Maybe
one.
we should do that.
First of all,
what's your
the
thoughts?
well, I'm gonna shorten it.
Please
Thoughts
give us
on
one
Get-
thoughts, because I know you got a billion.
Thoughts on Get Out, in relation to how it relates to
I mean,
the clients you work with.
related
So
to the topic, bro. You
Yeah,
got to
yeah.
Figure out some
Yeah.
way.
So the movie Get Out, you know, sometimes it's about y'all know what it's
If you
about.
haven't seen it,
Yeah.
you
Click the
slacked
link
it.
below. Nah, ain't no the link below. Y'all know where to find it.
Right. It's on YouTube.
So the movie, they deal with like talking about like the awkwardness of white and black relationships, mostly. Yeah,
Subtle
mostly.
and mostly subtle
Exactly.
Mostly subtle racism.
What do they call that? Microaggressions.
Microaggressions, yeah.
So I was filming a wedding and I was at a table. This is a short version.
Please do.
I was at a table and right across from our table was a guy with this Get Out hat. Or no, Get Out hat. Hold on.
Wait, wouldn't they have a Get Out? What did Get Out?
Right next to me was a guy.
MAGA hat. That's what you meant to say.
Yes, with a Make America Great Again hat. And I was like, okay. And they were like literally staring at our table for the entire time we were sitting down eating. So it was me, a white photographer, and 2 black DJs, and everybody else was white.
Those at a wedding.
At the entire event, and even the photographer was white. So it was kind of awkward because we like, okay,
Wait, they're at your table?
yeah, they was
Okay.
at the black people was at my table.
Like you're at the vendor table.
Yeah, the vendor table, and then it was the guy with the Make America Great Again hat right across from us, staring at us like, okay.
So he was at a different table. He wasn't at your table.
No, he wasn't at our table. That
he was in
would
the
have been.
same. Got you graduated.
I wouldn't have been at that table. Well, yeah, no, I wouldn't have been at that table.
Well,
But all right,
Get Out.
Get Out.
My thoughts on Get Out.
Tell us how much you love
Watch
the movie.
it. I've only seen it like twice. He's seen it like 15 times.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts on? I mean, it's a good movie. Go watch it. If you haven't seen it, you sleeping. It's America Today. But in relation to the topic in Get Out, I mean, I don't really know if I have an answer necessarily.
You can plead the fifth.
I mean, I don't need to plead if I don't know if I have an answer at all. I mean, what you said of like microaggressions, and I think generally as a black person or a person of color in America, you're going to be faced with those type of things. I mean, as a business person, regardless of what kind of stature you have or whoever you are, I think those are present. So me being in business or me being, entrepreneur, working for myself, I don't think that necessarily like clears or makes me free from getting those things. Even though to a certain extent I can, I guess, pick my clients, but I mean, still that's prevalent in our society, so it's not really going anywhere. Ooh, what's your favorite thing about business? That's such a large question. Favorite thing about business? I would say
Money.
too many things.
No,
Money's important. Yeah, I mean, I'm able to provide for myself, so yes. And do other things that I probably wouldn't have if I was probably currently working a 9 to 5 too. So various reasons in terms of like freedom of time and being able to. Well, I'm just gonna take a week off because I can, or being able to travel certain places because I want to, or whatever it is, or being able to afford to do that. I think the relationships, friendships, people that I've met, things that I've learned about myself, about other people, about business in general in itself. And I think just the untapped, not untapped, but like the untapped / like the sky's the limit potential for business and business owners, just business in general. And then collaboration. I love being able to collaborate with people, meet other people. Black and otherwise.
People of color.
People of color
and white
otherwise.
people.
That's my answer.
All right.
What's your favorite thing about business?
Oh. Wait,
Trying to jump the gun.
My favorite thing about business.
I said things. Well, it's
My
things.
favorite thing about business is being able to work with friends. I like the money too, but
Like me.
that's here. What business choice do you think God would be least pleased with and why? I think. Well, I'll say it like this. This doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. It's least out of all of them.
Just answer the
So-
question, bro. You don't gotta justify.
Let me clarify.
Right.
So I do a lot of projects where race is often like a focal point. So,
Of the
it
content.
might be like, okay, well, we want to do something focused on highlighting diversity. And sometimes I don't think everybody approaches it in the most authentic and careful way. So somebody might just say, well, we just need put some more black people in this so it look good. Basically, the choice is going with just like doing certain projects that might not be as sensitive and careful in terms of diversity and race.
That's weird. I would say, let's see, like a couple. And this goes into like my impulse shopping addiction or problem, I guess you would say. Whatever it is. But yeah, I think it was like, I don't remember how many years ago, but like, you know how you make money. And this was like when I was doing photography, working a job, all that stuff. So I had multiple streams of income. But it was, I think for me, it was just like mismanagement of money. In the sense of like, I like shopping, or I like buying these different things. And then I don't have money for the things that I need to have money for. So definitely there was a period of time where I didn't manage my money very well, in terms of like tithing, or in terms of like spending money on things that I don't need to spend money on, or buying things that are unnecessary. So, yeah. That's what I got.
This is your turn.
It's only maybe a Marcus question, but it's not. Ooh, do you give 10% of your money earned from your profits?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, basically. Do you?
Basically,
Basically,
I give
I
10%. I give 10% automatically of
Of everything you make.
Is what I make.
I
So
would say yes.
how I do it, I'll say it like this. I'll kind of budget, and I'll say, all right, I know I make this much a month. with
So
projects.
you're estimating in a sense.
Estimating, but it's pretty much it, basically.
Right.
So it automatically just comes out of my check on church Sunday morning, and
So we got that direct deposit.
I show up at church, and I don't gotta worry about the offering basket. And we don't even have an offering basket anyway, so we just got a little box once you're leaving.
Yes, I budget literally every dollar that comes in, and I have a Jesus section, so he gets his 10%.
Jesus budget.
Get his cut. Yeah, that's it.
He's gonna cut you out of his will. I'm just kidding. I think we got one more.
You think, or you saying time-wise?
No, we got one more.
One
And
more.
it's a good one. How does your testimony come across in your interactions with clients?
Been out here with the deep boys. Well, Marcus, Mr.
Oh yeah.
Appreciate
So,
art.
I'm glad I asked myself that.
All right.
My testimony comes across when I work with clients who are, sharing their story, or just opportunities. Like a lot of times when you're doing video, you have this sort of, it can be awkward. You have like this, awkward space of time where you're like setting up and they're, just hanging around waiting for you to set up, and you're like, okay, so where you from? Da, 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 da. Oh, okay, cool. How's your mom and how's your auntie?
You're right. Conversation.
And naturally, one of the things that comes up is like, okay, how did you get into doing video production? So are you going to church? Are you stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just answer and share like, oh, well, yeah, I got started this way, or, I didn't start going to church until da 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 da, and here's why, but now I go here and da 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 da, stuff like that. So, and then I'll also just share parts and pieces of my story where they kind of apply.
Mm-hmm.
So that's that.
How does your testimony come across in interaction with your clients? I mean, I think what you said was perfect. I think for me, should you pause it? Okay. I think for me, it's like just authentic interactions or authentic conversation where it just comes out naturally, like you said, like when somebody asks you about video. I think for me, even like I've had exhibitions and things of that nature where I'm talking about the specific art, and then because that art might be faith related or relate to a journey, a part of my journey, that way I'm able to share, part of my testimony, or share my faith or whatever it is. So for me, I never try to like force that kind of thing to happen. And I love when it just genuinely just, naturally just come up and happen. Cause like, oh, bet, okay, we in here. So yeah, I think for me, it's always been about the authenticity and allowing it just to happen naturally. So based on project and based on the person, yeah.
And it's a wrap. Peace out, y'all. Thanks for
Hopefully
watching.
this is part 1. Maybe we're gonna do a part 2.
Maybe if y'all want to see more,
we
let
should.
me know.
We got more questions out here.
I might make this a thing that I do regularly. And we might bring your boy Alfil Reeves back. Awesome photographer.
Bring me back.
Yeah.
Follow me on the gram, Alpha Reeves Photography.
All that good stuff.
AlphaReeves.com. Shout out to the boy, Marcus.
Alpha Reeves
All
everywhere.
Marcus Productions.
Productions.